environmental impact of the Tree Runway System seems to be widely discussed and is a big focus of the Airport Authority as well. What is the Airport Authority doing to reduce the environmental impact, and how are they enhancing sustainability within the aviation industry?
Sure. Obviously, the 3RS is a very important aspect for the airport. We're expanding greatly the airport, 50%. We're building 650 hectares of reclamation and all of the other facilities, passenger terminal buildings, APM systems, baggage handling. So we're very alert from the early planning stages that we have the potential for an environmental impact. So we undertook the most comprehensive environmental impact assessment at the early planning stage a few years ago now. We looked at all aspects of the construction and the operation of the airport to make sure that we build the most environmentally sustainable building and facilities we can. Obviously the construction, we're building 650 hectares. We're very alert that that is forever removing 650 hectares from the marine environment. So what we wanted to do is, when we did that reclamation, to do it as the most environmentally acceptable way. I'm not saying that reclamation is necessarily environmentally acceptable or not, but if you're doing reclamation, we wanted to make sure that any of the impacts are within that footprint. So we've undertaken a number of measures, the first of which was we committed at the very early out stage not to dredge any of the soft marine muds. That's important because that creates a lot of sediment in the water, can have an impact far wider than just the footprint of where we're reclaiming. There's also an added complexity of our site, that we have what we call contaminated mud pits. These are old pits that were unrelated to the airport, which again have the potential to release some materials into the water. So we're very careful. We introduced a system called deep cement mixing, where rather than touch these marine muds, we're encasing them with cement. What we do is we use a technique whereby we've basically using a technique that's never been done in Hong Kong before. In fact, it's never been done on this scale anywhere from a marine environment, where what we do is without disturbing the mud, we drill down into it and we inject and mix cement into it, forming the mud into a solid material that was able to take the weight of the reclamation without compressing, and forever locking these contaminants within that mud and underneath our reclamation. So that was just one of the many commitments. So there's no other areas where we're dredging, and in fact under the seawall, we're outside areas where this contaminated mud is. We've used this deep cement mixing technique again, which is proved very, very successful, and in fact I can see it being copied on other reclamation projects in Hong Kong and around the world now. Another process we did was we have to realign an aviation fuel pipe, which is commonly done. Normally it's done by dredging again the channel and relaying a new pipe. Again, consistent with our commitment not to dredge for our reclamation or outside it. Also because it would mean we have to dredge a trench through a marine park area adjacent to the airport. So we undertook to use another technique which is used in the oil industry, but not to this extent, called horizontal directional drilling. So this is a technique where we drill down from the airport island 100 meters down into the solid bedrock. Then we drilled out 5.2 kilometers and came up within an island where we could connect to the existing fuel pipe. Again, we didn't touch the water, we didn't touch the seabed, and so by going underneath, we prevented any impact on the marine ecology in that marine park, which was, if we'd used a conventional technique, there would have been an impact. So, I mean, within the EIA, we studied 12 major aspects: water quality, air quality, all the facets you would expect. But also we came up with 250 mitigation measures, whereby commitments to reduce through many ways the impact of all the works and to maximise the efficiency of the building, both during construction and also during operation. So those are just some of the techniques during construction that we're using to confirm our commitment that we're going to try and do our reclamation and our project in an environmentally responsible way.
Apart from the technology that goes into making the project more environmentally sustainable, What other forms of technology have played a big role in improving the efficiency of the airport?
Our operations director we work very closely with in terms of how we're developing a project that will be useful going forward to the operations. So we're trying to make it as efficient to operate in the future. And as he often tells me, we're no longer talking about efficient operation of infrastructure. It's changed. Airports now have changed, not just even to the efficient operation of passengers. It's efficient operation of their experience. Passengers now going through an airport want convenience, they want efficiency, they want to be entertained and dealt with as human beings rather than being pushed through a process. We've always been very proud of our airport, having, when it was opened just 20 years ago, it changed, I think, the way airports were looked at. It's been copied, it's been voted best airport many times, but the way we travel now through an airport is changing. It's changing dramatically with technology, it's changing with our customers' expectations. I'm very aware that the 3RS project we're going to expand is going to be opening in 6 years' time, in 2024. How you experience an airport in 6 years' time may be very different from how you experienced an airport 6 years ago or even today. So we're very alert in the design to make sure that we're designing an efficient building, energy efficient, but also efficient for passenger use, with all the excitement that you would expect from someone travelling. So we're very attuned to a lot of the new technologies. We're currently trialling at our current airport facial recognition techniques that will allow for easier customer access through immigration, through security clearance. And I'm sure that when we roll out in 2024 our eventual expanded airport 3 runway system, we'll have many new approaches to how we efficiently deal with passengers for their convenience and for their enjoyment of the facilities. Technology is at the forefront, both in the operation, but also we're using other techniques in terms of efficiency of design and construction. So we're looking at building information modelling. This is where we build first of all in a machine 3D. We use what we call a digital twin. So we create an exact digital model of what we're going to be building so that we can make sure we build it efficiently without wastage, without errors, to better, safer way of building it, but also a more efficient way of building it. And then that allows us to also, using a digital twin, to explore ways of operating it in the future. We can use virtual reality to walk through the building with our operators to get them to confirm that what we're designing is exactly what they want to have and use in the future operation.